Black fatherhood, my kind of hood. We here to do work, and it sounded good. Sometimes you listen, most times you judge. Try to pick our names up, about the mud. Black fatherhood, my kind of hood. We here to do work, and it sounded good. Sometimes you listen, most times you judge. Try to pick our names up, about the mud.
Yeah. I like that. What's up, everybody? Welcome. This is Ro Jones, and this is the Black Fatherhood Podcast. Oh, man, it's great to be here. So excited, man. This is the first episode 1 of the Black Fatherhood Podcast, man. This is, as I said in the promo, it's a brand new journey for me. I've never done anything like this before. I've done a little bit of TV, did some behind the scenes movie work, but I've never just put myself out there and started a podcast and, had my one voice be the voice that you listen to. So I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be a journey, and I know y'all will follow along with me. And if you don't, hey, maybe you can tell somebody else too, So we are starting for the first time today, and we have a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot to talk about. The Black Fatherhood Podcast. When I decided to start this podcast, people they liked the idea. They wanted to know more about it. They wanted to know, is it out already? Well, and I said, hey, it's not out yet, but you'll be able to tune in soon. And I waited months and months. And unfortunately, COVID happened, man. COVID-19 happened in 2020, and it's crazy. Everybody had to quarantine, and really it was a perfect storm for some. A lot of people jumped on the bandwagon, got a lot of internet shows going. That's great. That could have been my time to shine, but I took that time to go in the lab, work hard, build up that capital, and make sure I had the right equipment, make sure we can start the right way, and make sure we can look good while doing it. So this is the beginning of a great adventure, and things will build, things will progress. And I know the journey will be worth it, man. So this is, once again, the Black Fatherhood Podcast, as I keep saying, of course. We got some things to talk about. Right now, a lot of turmoil, a lot of things going on in the world. There's earthquakes happening in Turkey and other places. It's a lot going on. You got the election coming up. You got social, civil unrest. There's just so many things happening, so much to talk about. But the first thing that we do need to talk about is, of course, this podcast and what it means. I said in the promo, if you saw, check out the YouTube, I said in the promo, why? Why would you single out black fathers, Out of all the colors and creeds in the world, Asian people. You got Asian people from different countries like India. You don't know if they're Asian or Middle Eastern. It's just, you got Latino people from the Caribbean, Latino people from Europe, Latino people from South America. There's just so many colors and creeds, and, black is really in everybody. But we won't talk about that yet. But the Black Fatherhood Podcast is to focus specifically for right now on black men in America. And I say that because that's my experience. The best thing I can speak from is my experience. And if I give y'all my truth, my experience, then, there's nothing you can say. There's no way you can doubt me. So I'm here to give y'all my experience as a black father, a brand new black father, somewhat, a few years in, but it still feels brand new because every day something new happens, something no one told you about, and it's a lot, but I love it, and I love it so much I decided to share it with the world. And I am a black father, so it only makes sense that I start the Black Fatherhood Podcast. And we're going to bring people in, we're going to share, we're going to have other opinions from other people, bring up news stories. We're going to feature music if we can, original music, you know, just keep this thing full circle, because the Black Fatherhood Podcast, I see big things for it. I see a vision, and I hope you guys can see it too. This is just the beginning, but there's definitely big things brewing, and y'all are here with me enjoying it, and I love it, man. I love the vibes. And so on this Black Fatherhood Podcast, we are going to, make sure that, I'm going to make sure that I speak from my experience, and if I do need to pull out some facts, I'm going to make sure I do my due diligence and do my research to get those correct facts to you. And if I'm wrong, hey, let me know I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if we live. Call me up, text me if you know me like that. Whatever you want to do, man. And I'll make sure to correct myself, because I don't want to steer anybody wrong. That's not what I'm here to do. But I do want to have conversations, and I do want to make sure that the conversations I have are fulfilling, substantial, and, just pique your mind and pick at your brain until you want to go do your own research and figure out, what is a black father in America? Why would he start a podcast like this, And I think it's going to be a great journey. So we here, man, keeping it rocking. Ro Jones in the place to be. Black Fatherhood Podcast premiering for the first time November 2nd, 12 p.m. Locked in right now. If you haven't already, please make sure you like, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit that bell notification so you can be notified anytime I'm online, anytime I have updates on the Black Fatherhood Podcast YouTube channel. And of course, make sure you share. And if you don't like it, hey, let me know in the comments why. But try to be positive, Too much negativity in the world, too much negativity in those YouTube comments. I see other people's pages. I see everywhere comments are just crazy. The negativity online is horrible, but there's a lot of positivity too, and I'm here to add to that, We're going to bring some value. We're going to make sure that what we do here is for positivity only, and we may shed light on negative things, but we're going to make sure that the positivity shines through all of that. So we're keeping it locked right here. Tune in. Make sure you follow on Instagram at Black Fatherhood Podcast, Instagram at Black Fatherhood Podcast, Facebook at Black Fatherhood Podcast. Where else we at? Twitter at Black Fatherhood Podcast, and listening in on Buzzsprout. blackfatherhoodpodcast.buzzsprout.com. That's blackfatherhoodpodcast.buzzsprout.com. Make sure you tune in, man. This is a wonderful, wonderful thing, but at times it will get touchy. We will get a little deep with it, and that's okay, because the Black Fatherhood, we can handle that. We can handle the deepness. We can handle whatever you bring to us, The plan is already set. We just here to walk it through. So let's talk more, man. Let's talk more. The Black Fatherhood Podcast. So you say, why? Why would you single out black fathers? What is the importance of singling out black fathers? How could it not be important? I see black children dying all the time. I see black parents dying all the time, mothers and fathers. I can't speak on a mother's experience. I can't speak on motherhood, but I can stand there with the mothers of the world, the black mothers of the world who lose their children too soon, man. It's crazy, the things that we see on the internet, the things that we see that are put in front of our faces all the time. It's really, really crazy. How could I not focus on black parents, and specifically black fathers, of which I am one, when I see them being shot down and murdered in the street? How could I not? It's crazy. I want to make sure that we do have positive images to see. I want to make sure that we do have you know, a light at the end of the tunnel to look through. Because we got to get through this darkness. This darkness is crazy out here because, you know, negativity, it really drives the internet. It drives what's going on in the world, what's going on in the media, news, you know, social media, Black Twitter, the shade room. It really just drives all that. And we got to find the positive spots. And the Black Fatherhood Podcast is here to do that, I hope. And, you know, even though I'm talking about something so negative, to get to my point, it's something that has to be talked about. And the positivity is here for you to see, you know? Definitely. You know, before the internet, Black fatherhood, or should I say really fatherhood in general, was something that you didn't see much about, you didn't hear much about. Me personally, I didn't see advertisements for Black fathers too much unless they were eating a McDonald's sandwich. You just didn't see positive images of fatherhood at all. Unless every once in a while you saw a white family, of course. You'd see that on TV, you know, on the few channels that there were. You know, I came up at the same time as cable came up. And although we didn't have cable for long, I remember the few images we did see of fatherhood, and I didn't see many Black fathers in those images in media at all. It's you know, it's a sad thing, but I think there are more positive images these days. These days I see, you know, some images are kind of weird, but you know, these days I see Will Smith with his son. You know, we saw Kobe, rest in peace, with his daughters. You know, we see rappers now showing off their kids, you know, being proud to show their kids, being proud to say, you know, hey, I got a wife, I got a girlfriend, I got a baby mama, you know, whatever. At least they're proud to show that they, you know, they had seeds, and, you know, they put their seeds out into the world, because, you know, there's too many people not showing what it is and what it means to be a Black father. So I'm glad that things are changing, but it was a long time coming, and there's still a lot to do. Definitely still a lot to do. Back in the day, there was only a handful of articles about this, you know? Only a few images on TV of fatherhood in general. You know, if you didn't have a Black father growing up in the household, this is what you had. At least in my era, you know, I was born and raised in the 80s. And the 80s, man, that's, you know, you already know what happened. But if you don't know, we had the crack epidemic, you know, crack epidemic, the war on drugs, you know, it's just a lot of things going on against us, to where Black fathers were being locked up at a record rate. And if you don't believe me, you know, check out the 13th on Netflix. If you don't believe me, check out go to the website, the government website, and check out the 13th commandment, or 13th amendment, I'm sorry. And check that out, and you'll see it's all right there. You can still be enslaved if you are convicted of criminality. You can still be enslaved. And so because of that, there weren't a lot of Black positive images of fathers on my street, on my block, or my neighborhood, you know, at all. I grew up in Philadelphia, and that's just not something you saw. We saw a lot of young Black males, definitely, a lot of young Black males into the wrong things. And of course, it was easy to fall into that. Sometimes it was easy to think that was cool because, of course, the girls would go to the guys that seemed cooler because, hey, they might have had a little bit of money from a little extra hustle that seemed cool and seemed like a shiny rock to flash in front of somebody. But, man, their attitudes were poor. I'll tell you that much, because their hearts were heavy. A lot of single mothers couldn't bear the burden, at least in my neighborhood. You know, a lot of them tried hard. I saw divorces right in front of my eyes on my street. You know, I'm on the outside looking in, but you still see them. And you can recognize it when you see it, even at a young age. You still recognize it. And so black fathers just were something that you didn't see a lot of around my neighborhood in Philadelphia, South Philadelphia. You didn't see a lot of that, man, and it's sad. I wish that, I wish there was something like this back when I was a kid. Of course, there was no podcast, there was no YouTube, just television all day. And I don't even know what else we did. We played board games, we played cards sometimes, just read the back of a cereal box while you're eating your breakfast. Does anybody do that anymore? I don't know. Not me, man. I don't read that, man. I read the back of my Instagram page, That's all I do. And it's a shame, That's all we do. It's a dang shame, man. I don't know. It's a shame how I didn't see these images growing up, and it's beautiful that now I can see a whole lot more. I can follow Black Father pages on Instagram or Facebook. I'm part of a Black Fathers group on Facebook. It's a great thing. People share all the time. Just simply Black fathers just share all the time, asking questions. Hey man, my son just turned 3. I don't know why he's acting up so much. I be yelling at him, but I feel bad. Is it wrong for me to be yelling at him? Sometimes I feel like I wanna pinch him, but I know that's wrong. And they'll get honest opinions from just a gang of Black fathers, man. And it's a beautiful thing. So I figured, hey, man, let me start this podcast and see if I can contribute to the conversation. Because I feel like I can, as a Black father, as someone who's seen some positive images of Black fathers growing up, and of course as an adult as well. I feel like I had something to say about the subject, and I wanted to share that with the world, Because if I share that with the world, we all can talk, we all can converse a lot more and a lot better, because if you can't communicate, you can't even begin to have a relationship. And how are you going to have a relationship with yourself, let alone other people, if you don't know how to communicate? And communication is something that we struggle with. We really struggle with communication, man. It's a shame, but we can come together, and there are groups out there of Black fathers who are doing it, and just Black men in general. There's a lot of Black men groups, but every Black man is not a father. And even the ones that have kids, some of them are not fathers. And, it's not okay, but, man, I definitely understand the factors that can lead you there. It is not easy. There's nothing easy about being a father or being a parent. Being a parent, that'll test you to the core. These kids will test you to the core. Your resilience, your patience, your attention, everything. They will test you. Whew, I hear it in my voice. I feel it. It's just, it's real, man. I know all the parents out there feel me. I'm sure there's plenty of kids out there who were quote unquote easy, but those easy kids, I don't know. I feel like they not showing you something, or they hiding something. Those are the kids you got to watch out for. It's always the quiet ones. I was a quiet kid growing up. It's always the quiet ones, man. But I ain't quiet now. I am here, man. I am here. So, like I was saying, on my street, on my block, in my neighborhood, I didn't see many Black fathers. There were a few definitely sprinkled here and there, but there definitely wasn't a whole lot of representation of Black fathers at all. And so I just want to show that now. I just want to show that we are represented, that we do have a voice, and that we can show who we are to the whole world. And I think that's okay. We can show who we are to the whole world, and that's okay. The world might not even be ready to see how strong we really are. They might not be ready to see how great we are with our kids. Some of us, we lacked a Black father growing up. Men and women, some of us have lacked Black fathers growing up. Now we want to show our kids what it really is to be loved and have affection growing up from that male perspective. You know, sometimes a woman might find a man who was nothing like her father, you know, if he was a bad guy, and she might, you know, find a complete opposite and push her son, her daughter, to have a very strong relationship with that father because she knows what she didn't have growing up, or she knows how distant she could have been, or she is, I should say. Some people really take the positive route and make sure that they show, you know, that black fathers are here, and they show that black fathers are around, and that you don't have to be scared of them at all. There's no reason why anyone should be scared of most black men. We are not scary. Look at me. You can't look at me. You know, find a picture of me online. Google Row Jones, R-O-W Jones. I don't know. And you'll find a picture of me. Do I look scary? No, not at all. I mean, maybe to somebody I look scary, but not this face, man. But anyway, I digress. I think the Black Fatherhood podcast is going to be a resource, a tool to get black men to converge and talk about their feelings, talk about their wins, their losses, talk about things that are dear to them, you know, and talk about their kids, because that's what it's all about. Once we have these kids, man, we gotta nurture them to the fullest, because, you know, without us, they won't know where to go. They literally are lost without us. That's why they start off the first few years just asking us a million questions over and over and over. They just want to know, what do I do? Is this why I'm doing this? Why are you doing this? When are you going to do that? Oh, why? I don't know. But you know what? At least I'm here to tell you. And guess what? We can find out together, because that's what black fathers do. I know that's what I do. And we got to really show these kids, man. Show these kids, I hate to say it sounds real cliche, but show these kids the way. You know, show them that, you know, it's okay sometimes if you don't know things. It's okay sometimes if you need to ask for help. It's okay sometimes to dig into your emotions that you don't even show your own significant other. Sometimes you might show it to your kid. You know, the kids bring out the best in us. They really do. And sometimes they bring out the worst thoughts in us, but you can never act on those. We all can't be Bernie Mac, you know, and get a TV show out of it. Black Fatherhood Podcast TV show. I like that. I like that a lot, man. That's cool. I like that, man. Oh, man. Black fatherhood, you know, growing up, I didn't get to hear much about what black fathers were. You know, you didn't read about it at all. Matter of fact, I couldn't even tell you if I saw an article about black fathers specifically. I may have read articles that were written by black men who were fathers, but it wasn't about black fatherhood. It wasn't about black fatherhood at all. I'm racking my brain, and I cannot think of any literature about black fathers or black fatherhood that was shown to me. You know, definitely nothing taught in schools. Everything taught in schools is, you know, about European culture and the way Europeans live, whether in Europe or in America. And that is just something that I never was able to relate to. But in my household, luckily we were given books, powerful people, powerful men like Malcolm X, powerful men like Langston Hughes, just people that made you think, people that were thought-provoking. And I'm so glad I had those things, because those things were not at my school at all. I went to the same school from kindergarten to 8th grade, K to 8. I can barely even find those kind of schools right now. But I went to a K to 8 school, and there was definitely none of that in the curriculum. None of that. I had a couple cool teachers, who were definitely black and proud. Besides those couple teachers, throughout all those years, there was really no images, no literature. Television didn't help much. So where was I going to go to find these positive images of black fathers? One of my favorite shows was Home Improvement, Tim Allen, and man, I thought one day maybe I would be like Tim Allen, buying a house, trying to fix everything in the house, electrocuting myself, trying to fix things in the house, just being a proud man, because if anything, he was a very proud man. And, through that pride, he learned a lot of lessons about his own emotions. And, he learned a lot of lessons about what it is to be, a personality, but also what it is to be a father and what it is to be a husband and a friend all at the same time. And that's something I saw from white media all the time. I never had a good gauge of, what it was from the black male perspective. And thinking now as an adult, I think that's harmful. I feel like that's very harmful for you not to have those kind of images growing up. And we need more images like that. And we need more conversations like that and more literature like that. And it's out there. It's coming little by little. It's definitely coming. I appreciate all the podcasts out there of people bringing it up here and there about black fatherhood. I've heard a couple black fatherhood podcasts out there, of course with a different name. And the conversations are happening, but there wasn't a whole lot. So I felt like this is a space that I could thrive in. I could, shed some light on. And as I grow with our child, my wife and I, the podcast will grow with me, and everything will be shown as it happens. Everything will be shown as it happens. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing. And y'all are here to experience it with me, man. I love it. The Black Fatherhood Podcast. And speaking on schools, there's just no black history. All we get, I couldn't tell you now. I can't tell you until my son gets of age to be in a history class. But all we got was a paragraph or two about how, slaves came over and worked, worked for free. And then, all of a sudden, sometime later, they don't even tell you, real dates and stuff, but all of a sudden, sometime later, a president decided that he's going to abolish slavery. And now black people are okay. And now here we are. What is it? 1692, something like that. 1718, something like that. I don't know. I do know, but I can't think of it right now. How long has it been? 1619, actually, I believe. Something like that. And, we've been slaves for that long. 400 years of slavery. All of us are not slaves in the same way anymore, but slavery is still here. Because if you're put into the prison system, you are a slave. And in schools, since there was so little information, I'm very, very, very grateful of what I had in my household, and grateful for, my mother, and also the black male presence that I had in my household for the time. I really, really do appreciate that. That definitely helped mold me, and it helped make me a better person. And I'm not perfect by any means. I mess up and I make mistakes all the time, as a father, as a man. But you have to learn from those mistakes. Eventually, you have to learn from those mistakes. And it's a journey, and you all are here with me. All y'all here with me for this journey, the Black Fatherhood journey. And I can't wait till we bring some more people on the podcast. That's definitely in the works. There will be plenty of voices, not just mine. There will be plenty of voices for y'all to hear, man. It's going to be a great thing as we roll through this first episode. And thinking about, still thinking about why it's important and why this is significant to talk about black fathers. Since we were just a footnote, or are just a footnote in primary schools, in their literature and their history books, since we are just a footnote, this is the place where you can get some more information and hear, most importantly, from other black fathers and learn stories and talk about those stories with us, because these conversations are so important, and they need to be happening, no matter what your political views are, no matter what your religious views are, some maybe even socially, honestly, just no matter what your views are, you can't deny being a father. And if you do, that's just, you're just effed up. But no matter what, if you've had a child, you are a father, and you just, you need to uphold that. And the ones that do uphold that, they will be here with us. And the ones that want to uphold that, maybe they aren't doing it now, but they want to uphold that, hopefully they come here with us too. That's my dream. That's what I hope. This is the place to congregate. This is the place to discuss and communicate. We got to do it, man. It's got to happen. That's why this is significant. That's why this is important. If you are listening to this, then you are a part of the black fatherhood. You don't have to just be a black father to be a part of the black fatherhood, because we're here. If you know a black father, you are a part of the black fatherhood. If you've seen a black father before and say, hey, that looks nice, you're a part of the black fatherhood. If you were raised by a black father, you're a part of the black fatherhood. That can be a grandfather, godfather, good father, good fella, I don't know. It can be any one of those things. But if you know anything about black fatherhood and you're listening to this, you've already joined the hood, man. And we welcome you. Welcome to the hood. Oh, man. Black fathers are always under constant attack. You see it on the media all the time. If something negative happens to a black male, you'll see an old jail photo. You'll see a photo of them turning up, a photo of them drunk somewhere, maybe. You never get that graduation photo. You never get that prom photo. Nothing like that. We always get the most negative photos when they talk about us in the media. Everybody else gets playing with kittens and puppies, and that time they went to the zoo and a monkey jumped on their head. Nah, man. We got to stop this. We definitely got to stop this. We are going to be the positivity that you need when it comes to our images. The black fatherhood will stand the test of time and be that image that you need, It has to be. There has to be a place for it, And where there's other places for it, I hope we all come together. I hope we all come together and join as one, and we all become one big neighborhood. Because that's what we need to do. We need more unity. We don't just need one leader. There are many leaders among us, We all can get a piece of that pie. I wouldn't want to be one leader, one leader over everyone anyway. That's just too much. That's too much pressure. I want to partner with people. I want to be part of the Black fatherhood because that's the only way we're going to make it out of this, and make it through this. And show that we are the most resilient. Black people are, no matter what. Black people in America are. We have shown it. Mother, father, children, all of us, we have shown it. And we're going to continue to show it right here. Speaking on Black fathers and Black father positivity, I said we don't need leaders. We don't need a whole bunch of, we don't need one leader to lead everyone. But we do need a lot. We do need a lot of leaders everywhere to lead small factions, so we can rise and be great through education, through economics, through history, as we have been. Once again, we will be great, although we continue to show how great we are all the time, even when we're down. We've generated probably the most capital of any poor people, known to man in history. Just from music alone. It's crazy, as Black people, not just Black fathers, of course. As Black people, we've just created so much from so little. So I know what we can do if we have a bunch of people together to help us rise and get through what it is we're going through. And role models are important. Role models are what these Black children in general, of course, but I'm speaking about Black children and what they need. They need role models. You can look to whoever you want to be a role model. It doesn't have to be positive. It doesn't have to be what you think it is. Role models are what you make them out to be. What you learn from them is what's most important. You can learn a lot from negative people as well as to positive people. You can learn a whole lot. You can learn what not to be. You can learn everything that you can be. Now we know that, they say, Obama is the first Black president. Believe it if you want. That's cool. But not even thinking about this country, just thinking about the rest of the world. There's probably mostly been brown and Black leaders of countries. You can even look to the West Indies now. They have a lot of Black leaders. Sure, you can look to Atlanta and see, how people thrive under Black leadership. And so these role models are out there. These role models are everywhere. We don't just have to look in America to see them. They're out there. But the Black fatherhood experience I speak on will be based on my experience here in America. Mostly. I do have some experience outside of there, of course. But my main experience is here, and I'm happy to share it. I'm happy to be a role model for kids in general. No matter what color, no matter what, I'm happy to be a role model for kids. As a Black father, I'm very happy to be a role model for kids. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I love children, man. I couldn't wait to have a kid when it was my time to have a kid, And I'm here, and I'm so glad I'm here through the good times and the hard times. I don't really consider any bad times, but through the good times and the hard times, I'm happy. proud that I did it. And you should be too. You should definitely be proud that you did it. Because these kids need us. They need us to be role models. You don't have to be the most perfect person. You're going to mess up. You're going to F up. You are. You definitely are. And that's okay, man. It's definitely okay. We're going to mess up and we're going to learn from those mistakes. You don't have to regret it at all. You can even talk about it. You might even be able to talk to your kid about it. They might not know every detail, every little detail, but you can talk about the mistakes that you've made and compartmentalize those mistakes. Don't tell them about the stuff you was selling, the packs you was selling on the corner when they 5 years old. Don't do that. But you know, as they get, maybe wait till they're like 28, 29, if they're able to live that long in this country. Maybe wait till they're 28, 29 to tell them about the packs you was selling on the corner, you know? Because now you're a garbage man making $100,000 a year. You know? How about that? When I was in school, they told me to be a teacher. What? I could have just been a garbage man. Or own the fleet of trucks. That's what this black father would tell you, man. That's what we need to be talking to our kids about, you know? I know I'm not the greatest role model, but I know I am one. And I don't have to be the greatest role model. Because I can point you in the right direction of black men who are much better than me. And when I say much better, I mean much better. Much, much better men than me. Because you have to surround yourself with greatness. Surround yourself with people who want to see you do well. And eventually you have to turn for the better good. If you don't, man, you're just stubborn. You're just super stuck. That's not me. I can't be super stubborn like that. No, I'm lying. I can be super stubborn. I'm a Taurus, you know. If you believe in that stuff, if you're into the astrology and things like that, you'll know. You'll know what I'm talking about. Tauruses are stubborn. Stubborn. Stubborn and frugal. Some people call it cheap. I say frugal. It is what it is. It's the black fatherhood. We talk about all kinds of things here, you know? And I love it, man. I love what we're doing here. It's going to be a great experience. You know, as I was saying in the beginning, I appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate y'all listening to everything. We're going to make sure we have plenty of news for you. Plenty of things to talk about. Today, I just wanted to talk about, what the significance and what the importance of talking about black fatherhood is. Because I felt that was something that, needed to be said to start things off. You got to introduce the people to what you're all about. This is my about page on my website, blackfatherhood.com. Just kidding. It was taken. I'm so mad it was taken. I tried to get the domain name for Black Fatherhood, but I couldn't get it. Some other black father, I hope, got it out from under me, man. Weaseled it out from under me. But that's okay. We're going to figure it out. We're going to have a full website for you one of these days. And I'll definitely let you know when it happens. Until then, you can go to blackfatherhoodpodcast.buzzsprout.com. That's blackfatherhoodpodcast.buzzsprout.com. Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, like the bee. Busy bee. You already know. Check me out on YouTube, of course. Black Fatherhood Podcast. Instagram at Black Fatherhood Podcast. Facebook, Black Fatherhood Podcast Facebook group. I'm here. I'm definitely here. Y'all just like, share, hit the bell notification on YouTube, subscribe, all of that, please tell somebody we here. The hood is here. The Black Fatherhood is here. Right here, man. And I know we're not going to go anywhere for a long, long time. This is episode 1 of season 1. And I see season 24. I see it over the horizon. I see it right there. Y'all going to hang in there with me the whole time, right? I know you will. I definitely know you will. The conversation, we're going to keep it open. We're going to talk about tough things, you know? We're going to talk about great things, exciting things. We're going to talk about things that make us smile. We're going to talk about things that make us, angry. We're going to talk about all of that, man. We got to explore the whole range. The whole range of communication and emotion. We got to explore it all, You might not catch me shed a tear. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. If it does happen, just don't say I didn't warn you, Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe in my age, maybe I can't hold it back as much as I could before. It's kind of weird, Saw a Disney movie the other day. I don't even know. I don't know what came over me, man, but I think I almost. I think it rolled down my face, man. Just that one little singular, Oh man. Yeah, nah. Yeah, man, just kidding. I'm just playing with y'all. Black Fatherhood Podcast, man. We're going to talk about some things, and I really can't wait. Hopefully next week I have somebody join me. That'll be great. We'll see what happens. Keep it locked. Definitely tune in next week, and you'll find out. Let somebody know, because if you don't let somebody know, then they can't let somebody else know, and then if they can't let somebody else know, then nobody will know. That's just not how it's going to work. It's not going to work like that, guys. It's just not going to work like that. We gotta keep it moving. The train must keep moving, The locomotive. My motive is crazy. My drive is crazy. And we're going to get it done. So I can't wait for y'all to join in to the rest of the conversations. We're gonna keep it moving and, make sure that we can really talk things out. This has to be a place where people can talk things out. I'm not a therapist. I just married one. I'm not a therapist at all. But if I played one on TV, I don't know what would happen. But no, man, I'm not a therapist, but I'm a listener. I'm definitely a listener. And I hope y'all listen to me for this duration of this podcast, because there's just so many important things that we're going to touch on. And we're going to keep it current, but we're also going to touch back in the past, because if we are nothing without our past, if you can't talk about that, you really can't move forward to your future at all. You really can't move forward to your future. And we must do that. The Black Fatherhood Podcast is definitely a journey that you can jump on at any time. Maybe you've heard the information before, maybe you haven't, but it will be from a different perspective. And that's what's important. We got to get different perspectives from different people. And just because I'm focusing on black men in America, black fathers in America, because it's not just black men. Black fathers are nothing without their queens, Of course. Some black fathers don't have black queens, and that's okay. We're not here to talk about that right now. We're just here to talk about those that are listening and want to be a part of the hood. That's it. But we got to reach out to everybody. Definitely. The Black Fatherhood's coming, and it's here. I appreciate y'all so much, man. So much. It's going to be tough talking about these things, like Walter Wallace in Philadelphia being shot 7 times each by 2 cops. It's going to be tough to talk about these things, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Took me a long time to see the video of George Floyd being assassinated on the street. It took me a very, very long time. And even when I finally did, I couldn't watch the whole thing. It's just tough. It's too much to watch a man die right in front of me. You know, when the time comes, it may happen. You know, if this country ever goes to civil war, I know I sound crazy right now, but if this country ever goes to civil war, the time might come, or I might have to pull out on somebody. You never know. Or if I had to defend my family, or both. But no matter what, I gotta protect my family. No matter what. And myself. I just wish those people, Sandra Bland, Ahmaud Arbery, I just wish these people, I wish they could have bust back, you know? Breonna Taylor, it's all a shame. And as you know, that's just recent stories. The story has not ended yet. I don't want to say the story never ends, but the story has not ended yet. And the conversation will definitely not end. We're going to keep that going, keep it moving. So keep it locked right here. Every single Monday at noon, we'll be releasing a new episode. And I hope y'all stay a part of the community, stay active, engage with me. I'm here for y'all. Eventually, we will do this live. Right now, it's pre-recorded, you know. But once those bills get paid, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, we're going to keep it real cool, man. We're going to keep it moving. The lives will come soon enough. You know, we'll do Instagram and all that, Facebook, YouTube, all of that, man. It's coming. But for right now, we're here. And I thank y'all for tuning in. So come back next time and make sure you join.
Like fatherhood, my kind of hood. We here to do work, and it sounded good. Sometimes you listen, most times you judge. Try to pick our names up,